When I first moved into this apartment a few months ago, the bedroom was a blank slate. A tiny 10 by 9 feet with an entire wall full of mirror doors, a sliding door as the main entrance, and no windows. Since we're in a one-bedroom condo and there are 5 creatures living here, I knew I wanted to make my bedroom feel like a sanctuary. A cozy cave, a sacred place away from the chaos. A place I could meditate, relax, and feel alone. So I started to make changes. I finally found nightstands that would fit the very small footprint beside the bed, and although they were not my first choice, sometimes you are just limited in your choices, which actually isn't always a bad thing, because now we do have a little bit more storage. There are 2 tiny drawers, and there's actually a little side nook that you can just like put easy access things, so it kind of worked out. I faux limewash painted the whole room. I am so happy with it. It just feels like so cozy. It has a more organic texture, so even though this is a windowless room, it kind of makes me feel closer to nature. I freaking love it. I hung some canvas art I already had to hide the electrical panel, and I modified an existing rug I had so it would fit this space because rugs are freaking expensive. Instead of buying a new one, I decided to just cut this one to size. Now the nightstands are properly positioned from the bed, and I actually like that now there's this clean floor space in front of the rug, because it means that when we add a dresser in the corner, it's gonna be fully off of the rug. So this is what we're working with. There's been a lot of good progress, but it's time to take it to the finish line. The first thing I had to do was reinstall the sconces because they were originally installed very low and off-center. A practical way to figure out the best placement is to sit on the bed and hold the sconce on the wall until neither the top or bottom light is shining in your eyes. If you have a partner, do the same thing with them to make sure the height you land on is suitable for both of you. Ours ended up being around 49 inches from the floor to the center of the fixture, which is not within what the general rule even is. So my advice is to take the time to tailor it to your specific eye level. Since there's no overhead light in this room, these sconces were actually left by the landlord, and for now, I don't dislike them. I would prefer a different style, but instead of getting new ones, I'm gonna DIY a lampshade. But we'll get to that later. We have this bed frame that my mother-in-law kindly gave to us that really helps because it is high off the floor, and we basically just use the underbed for full storage. Like, that's basically our storage closet. But you can see all the shit that's under it, which is not a vibe. Kind of from any direction that you're standing, especially because the mirror door is right there. When you enter the room, it's just reflecting all the shit back into your eyes. So you're constantly aware that there's crap under there. I got a bed skirt, and I'm hoping that that solves the problem and will basically just hide everything, and actually might be a fun little place for the cats to go under. Make it a little cozy cave for them, and also solve my problem of not having to see my storage closet just out in the open 24/7. Excuse me. Nova, exit. Exit, please. No! Nova! Just know that anything that you try to do will take twice as long if you have cats. Now they like don't know if where they step has a surface or not. This looks so much better. Like, now it looks like a finished bed. I don't have to see anything. No package can be opened without them inspecting it and eating the styrofoam. No, don't eat it, Conan. Stop, 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 stop. Nova doesn't eat her raw meat, but she's like, styrofoam? That's what's up. I want that flavorless synthetic material. Get up, get up, get up, get up. You can step on this when it is a fully assembled dresser. But right now, I need to put it together. Excuse me, get off please. You know what? I appreciate that you are now out of my way. These pieces are actually quite heavy, which indicates to me that the quality is pretty good. It feels kind of like my IKEA cabinets, kind of like a wood veneer. I didn't really know what kind of faux wood it was going to be. I just obviously knew it was not real. I gotta take all these wood pieces out and then put all this styrofoam away so these little rascals don't eat it all. You're one of the rascals. You're one of the rascals. Ooh, these are the drawer fronts. They are fluted and they look real nice, real fancy. I am so excited to put this together because this is really the final storage piece for the bedroom to be in a nice, comfortable state. Although it looks nice on the outside, the closet is still quite a mess. So this is really just gonna clear up the whole closet and it's gonna feel really comfortable. You know what, Nova? If you stay there, that's allowed. If you're out of my way, you can stay right there. Nova. Okay, can you get out? I saw some lampshades that I really liked on Etsy, but they were literally from Morocco and the shipping on them was insane. They looked pretty simple to make, so I was like, I think I can just DIY this myself. I think I can just make a frame, get some raffia material, and just wrap them myself. And that's what I tried to do. I got some wire coat hangers from the dollar store, I got some raffia, and I got to work. But I didn't really know how to attach the straight pieces to the semicircles, and I just kind of bent the wire around it, which means that it's not like, you know, it's not super secure. It still moves. After wrapping the whole frame and then starting to wrap the actual like lampshade area, I realized this does not have enough structure. I do still need some straight pieces across here that will keep this structure. And the only way that I can think of attaching like straight metal pieces here to keep the frame would be to solder them. Solder, which I don't have, I don't know, the material or the skill to do. So I got this far and that's about as far as I'm gonna go. I don't really know how else I can make this. It seemed a lot more simple. Can't solder things. So I am kind of out of ideas of how to make this work. And I'm willing to take an L on this DIY attempt. If you have any ideas of what I can do to make this lampshade work, please let me know, because I was really excited about this. I really thought it was going to work. Nova, move. Move. Okay, but you're sitting literally on my keyboard. I don't think that's much better. I even made a little cutout in the bottom because my sconce has a cord coming through, and I was like, I want to make sure this sits flush on the wall. So I really thought that I thought of all the details, but I just can't make this work unless I can attach something here to maintain the structure so that it doesn't collapse as I am wrapping the raffia around it. But I think for the time being, I'm just gonna leave the sconces as is. I gave it my best effort, but sometimes this is just what happens when you try to do it yourself. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Today, we are dealing with these ugly ass sliding doors. I know that they put these in condos because it is more space efficient, but like, do they have to look like this? They are the ugliest teal green. You can't really tell as much from the outside, but I'll show you from the inside of the bedroom. They just have pure, sterile kind of hospital vibes, and it doesn't make my bedroom feel like a cozy sanctuary. It makes me feel more like I'm in an insane asylum. I'm not gonna do anything with them from the outside, but from the inside of the bedroom, we're going to hang curtains to cover these doors. Curtains will not only make it feel a lot cozier, but it'll actually help with the soundproofing a bit, and it'll hopefully make it feel a bit more like a real closed door room. Since this is the only room that we have in here aside from the main living area, if we want to get a little bit of space from each other, if we want to meditate, just relax, it's all in there. And although the lime wash really helped warm it up, the doors are just absolutely killing the vibe in there. Because when you sit on the bed, you're facing the doors, it just looks so cold, and we gotta fix it. I got some curtains. Ideally, I would have loved to have gotten velvet curtains to make it feel even more cozy and luxurious, but Nova loves that velvet material. We used to have like velvet material dining chairs that she bit the shit out of. So I would just be completely asking for trouble if I got velvet curtains. So instead, I got a linen blend curtain. The ones that we have in our main area are also linen, and I do like the linen look, and I do like the linen vibe. It matches the whole kind of minimalist Mediterranean style that I'm going for. So I got the natural color instead of white, and I think the natural color will blend nicely with the color of the faux lime wash that's in there. So these are the curtains. There's a little bit of kind of texture to them, which is nice. And I got the length that they should kind of like just graze the floor. So we'll see. Now you might be wondering, how am I gonna hang these curtains? Because I was wondering the same thing, because my two doors come to a corner, and I was like, do I put like one curtain rod on each side, or what do I do? Turns out they make curtain rods for corners. So if you have a window that's at a corner, or doors at a corner like I do that you want to cover, the curtain rod actually bends at the corner. I've never hung something like this, so I'm excited to see how this works. Very nice. I really hate extra yellowy gold. Not a fan of like very yellow gold, and this Conan is in a mood. This brassy gold is perfect. Oh, you were just smashing over. Oh my gosh. Are you okay in there? So this is that very special piece that makes the curtain rod go at a corner. How neat is that? I did not know this exists, so if you have some sort of window, some treatment that you want to put curtains on that's at a corner, it is totally possible. I really want to add holdbacks because I want that nice swoop shape in front of the door when the doors are open. And I tried a bunch of ways to secure them because I have to secure them to the actual glass door since there isn't enough space to put it on the wall. And even if I put it on the wall, then I wouldn't be able to close the door. I tried using double-sided Velcro, which Nova pulled off. And I also tried using museum gel, which I know is not meant for this purpose, but tried it and it didn't work. And then as I was figuring out how to secure something else on my patio, I realized I could use that same thing here, which is suction cups. It just so happened the size that I ordered for the patio also worked for this hold back. And there's two holes side by side, but they're kind of close together, so I can only put it in one. And it really easily just slots in. When you tighten it, you can tighten it enough that the hold back stays in place, but it's also really easy to adjust it so that when I close the doors, I can actually move the hold backs, because if I wasn't able to do this, I actually wouldn't be able to close the door. I am so happy that I figured this out because I don't want the curtain down all the time. I don't necessarily want this room kind of blocked off all the time. And when the doors are open, I want a way for the room to also feel open. So I didn't really have plans of hanging up too much stuff on the walls here. I really want a calm, serene feel, so I don't actually want too much artwork up on the wall. But I do have a print that I actually bought for our previous place that we never ended up hanging up. I still don't plan on putting anything above the headboard, but I think with this small little space of wall between the curtain and the bathroom door, I think it is the perfect spot for this one print. Oh no, the plastic sound is attracting the catos. Don't step on the frame, Nova. Okay, don't step on this, Conan. I see you coming closer. Don't step on it. Don't, you're stepping on it. Okay, no. Okay, you guys have to get locked. No, don't step on it, Nova. You guys gotta get locked out. Come on. Nova, stop. I have to put a slipper there in the door so that Nova can't open the sliding door, and I just see her shadow stalking this door. Wow. Okay, here's my print. Let's see. Wow! Oh, that looks so good. These 3M picture hangers are my favorite way to hang pictures. The marking mechanism on the 3M claw is not super accurate. They do give you like a little sponge to put behind the hook so that you can mark on the wall where you want it to be. And when you mark it, that corresponds to like where you put this little indent on the bottom, but it actually either lowers it or raises it by a little bit. Basically, it's not gonna be 100% accurate to the height that you want. So I'm going old school and I am just doing the painter's tape method. Wow. Oh, that looks so good. Wow. Okay, that looks really freaking good. Okay, very happy I put this up. Damn. Joining me, Nova? Oh, wow. This is a rare moment. Caught on camera. Nova's only cuddly when she's sleepy. Oh my gosh. My little kitty. Oh, another guy's joining. Oh, wow. Everyone's being so sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay, don't bite him, Nova. Don't bite him. I feel like from this angle, it doesn't look like a lot has changed from the beginning of the video, but you also have to remember the actual beginning was an empty room. I have just been documenting my changes along the way, and I figured it would just make more sense if I compiled it all in a makeover review video so that you could actually see the empty room that I started with and where I am now. This is a realistic bedroom makeover because I'd say it's like 90% complete. And keep in mind, that is over 5 months. We moved in here in March. It is now mid-July, and it's taken me that long to piece together everything that you saw in this video because things don't just happen in 1 week. Okay, you out? Okay, see ya. Room makeovers don't just come together in 1 week or even 1 month, or if they do, I mean, people probably have an unlimited budget and dedicated time to do it. Realistically, you're designing your space bit by bit, and Ideas come to you as you're designing that space. When I moved in here, I didn't right away have the idea that I would put curtains up to hide the doors. But after having more of the space come together and realizing just how ugly they were and how much they were killing the vibe, that's how the idea then came to me. The dresser that I got had to be a specific size to fit that corner space because the railing for the sliding door basically gets in the way of that wall. And even though I found the dresser a lot earlier, I waited for Wayfair's May days for it to go on sale so that I could buy it. I totally forgot that I even bought this piece of art. I only discovered it when I was taking out art to test for my living room, and only later thought that might actually look really good in my bedroom. My point is, even though it's fun and satisfying to watch room makeovers, they don't actually come together that quickly in front of your eyes. A lot of designing your space is simply trying things out and kind of organically coming up with ideas that actually solve a problem for you, especially in a small space. I thought about getting new bed sheets, but bed sheets are pretty expensive and I don't really have the budget for that right now. Realistically, you are not going to have the budget to get everything you want for your space. Instead of getting new sheets, I just got a flat sheet, which actually works better for me because we always put a flat sheet on top of our duvet anyway, so that it's easier to clean since the pets are always on top of the bed. Before I put out this video, I really wanted to get a lamp for the dresser because I feel like that would kind of complete the dresser. But then I thought to myself, is it realistic for me to actually have a lamp on my dresser? Even though I think it looks nice, 100% of the time we have an air purifier on the dresser because we have 3 pets and we live in a small space, and it is just necessary to have an air purifier in a room that doesn't have windows. I kind of felt that pressure to make my space look really beautiful to the outside eye, but I realized that's literally not real life. I don't need a lamp. It's not going to serve a functional purpose there, and realistically, whatever footprint is left on that dresser is for the cats to jump up on. And another tip, if you have a small bedroom, don't feel like you need to over decorate. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I really did not want a lot of visual clutter. So I feel like all the decisions that I made really supported that. I know my room might seem really kind of plain and minimal to some, but that is exactly what gives me the serene vibe. So what's left? Well, the sconce shades for one, as you saw, because that DIY project did not work out. Maybe when I have the budget, I might end up pulling the trigger on those original Etsy ones. I revised what I said, and the room is actually 80% done because one big DIY project that I haven't taken on yet is plastering these nightstands. These nightstands happen to be a perfect fit for this space, but they're not the perfect vibe fit. And to make them suit the style that I'm going for, I really want to plaster them so that they have a more organic kind of concrete look. But that's like a pretty involved DIY project, and truthfully, I just don't feel like taking that on right now. I'd rather spend the time that I have working on other spaces in our place to get those spaces to 80% before I start really focusing on some of the details. Because that's how designing your own space actually goes in real life. You get it to about 80-90% complete, and then you experiment and you play around with the details. And I think that's where you actually add kind of your personal style touch to it. Are you coming back? You coming back? Okay, just scooch in on there. I'm really happy with how everything came together. I feel like it truly is the exact vibe that I was going for. If you are in a small space like me and you could only do like one thing, I would say if you have the sliding doors, cover the damn sliding doors. The curtains made the biggest difference. Every day when I am sitting on the bed or laying in bed and I am looking in this direction, I am so happy that I put up these curtains. The other thing that really made this a very calm spa-like place is the faux lime wash. So if you don't have ugly sliding doors to cover, I would do the faux lime wash, and that alone, without changing any furniture, without doing anything else, will completely transform how you feel in the space. So that's it. That's the bedroom makeover. I'm working on the living room and the patio next and doing my best to make those spaces as catified as possible. So if you're interested in seeing that, subscribe and I'll see you in the next videos. I don't think I'm allowed to move. I think I'd be breaking cat law if I move. I feel like it's hella rude if I move.